Welcome to the SoundCentric podcast. I am Adam Dash. But today,
it's hard.
We are joined by special guest, one of the best YouTubers, content creators out, especially talking about opium rap or that lyrical rap that we all love. I am joined today by Bryce Fitz. Welcome back, Bryce.
What's up, guys? I'm here on short notice. I'm here. I'm done with school for the semester, so I'm here. It's fucking
under
dope.
24 hours notice, because that's
Yes,
what we do
sir.
here. We're efficient.
Yes, sir.
Logistically, we figure things out. To get right into it, you know what we do with our playlist title of the week, to catch up, see how we're feeling, what song, what's the title, what highlights your week.
All right, so I've been listening to this artist. I'm actually seeing him live in 10 days from now. He's opening for Homicide Gang, going to Atlanta, and his name is Bear One Boss.
Okay.
And he's been on the scene for a while, but he makes this really weird, I don't think you're gonna like his music, Adam. It's fine, but he makes this really like weird music where it's very auto-tuned, it's very underground, it's almost like Drain Gang Blade kind of, but he like, instead of doing ad-libs, he does a lot of these like video game sound effects that kind of like, I don't know, it's, you have to listen to it, but the playlist title is going to be called Stimulation because it's like a joke with his music. People be like, how many dangling keys do you like need in your face to like be stimulated? It's like, there's like memes. It's like, damn, all this song needs is Family Guy playing in the corner because there's just so much going on. Like all these Mario sound effects, like sonic rings getting collected. But let me tell you, it is awesome. It is so cool. It is like one of the most like forefront things I've seen someone do in the underground in a long time, and his new album is out now. It's called Lil Hot Sauce. So I've been listening to that for
Lil
weeks
Hot Sauce
on end.
What a title.
On weeks on end, yeah. So I'm very excited to see him live. If you want to feel stimulated, check into some new Bear One Boss.
Yeah.
Very interesting music. It's very interesting.
I can picture the album cover in my head already.
It's like a little bear playing a guitar, and there's like fire in the back, and then there's water underneath him. Yeah, it's some crazy shit. It's some crazy shit.
Is this like a gym vibe? What type of, where are we playing this music?
Dude, look, literally anywhere. My favorite song on that album is called Caribou, of course, named after the Caribou.
Yeah.
He just does these crazy inflections. Definitely gym music, but it's like, since it is like stimulating, I feel like being active is definitely something for it. But since it does have those video game sounds, and I've been playing a lot of Roblox lately, I've been running up my roommates in Roblox. That's kind of been our anthem. I don't know. It just kind of meshes together playing like the high-paced first-person shooters and just hearing like random bullshit. It's great. Quality art.
Back in the day, I was a huge Super Duper Kyle fan, so I used to love the little additions of video game music playing.
Dude, that song it's called Video Games, I think, with 2 Chainz. That shit is fire.
Yeah. It's Akira.
What's it called? Yeah,
Akira?
it's something. It's something.
It's
like
something
that.
like anime vibe. Yeah. I mean, him, Logic, he's always had that video game aesthetic. He is what's it called? Super Smash Bros. That song.
Yeah. Exactly.
He was one of those ones for me.
Super Mario Bro or Super Mario World. Excuse me. Yeah,
there we go.
That shit. That was actually a different beat, and it had Juicy J on it before it came out, but they changed it. I knew
that.
It was a remix of a Drake song from Views. I forget which song, but it was like literally just that beat, and Juicy J was on it, and then they changed it because they couldn't clear the sample. Who would have thought?
Yeah. Side note: we need the Juicy J produced by Logic album. I think it's dropping.
That should be coming. Yeah, he said it's coming out 2024, and I think it's coming out early 2024 because Logic's new album also coming out early 2024, I believe. So it would kind of line up with that.
Yeah.
So
I saw he has 6 albums ready to go. So might
Juicy
be a huge Juicy J year. For me, my playlist title this week is Chicago's own KO. He just came out with his new EP, Until His Burial, which was a surprise release. I was very hyped for this because we had Azar on last week and we were already talking about KO. And this dude raps. And the song that I loved the most after first listen was Mea Culpa, produced by our guy Stoic, who we interviewed a few weeks ago. Every Stoic beat is just, more rappers need to tune into this guy. And I got a little, not debate, but conversation about this on Twitter, because somebody said this whole thing with artists and producers doing an album just together is not good. I'm so team artist-producer pair-ups because it's cohesive. Depending on the producer, it's all good beats. It's not one of these playlist albums where it sounds like a bunch of songs were just thrown in. And I think it's perfect. Not saying KO didn't do that, but KO's song's amazing. Stoic, people work with him, please.
Yeah.
And let's get into
Yeah,
things.
just to add on to that, I really do want to harp on what you said about like the producer artist collaboration albums.
Yeah, it's great.
One of my favorite like themes in hip hop music. I mean, if you can get two people who they don't even have to like be in the same realm, but if you guys are like on the same page of creating something and clashing as far as producing artistry goes, like even an executive producer who like doesn't actually produce, you know, obviously a lot of people don't know that. I know you do. A lot of people don't know what executive producer actually means, but even if you have someone who's working with you to look over the music, a second opinion will go a long way. It will.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I see West Side Gun executive produced an album.
Yes.
I have faith in the beats. I got trust in it.
Yeah.
And I know that Alchemist is not the first person by any means to do a just producer artist album, but he has really taken it to another level of every album that comes out. Like Larry June is a big artist, but I feel like that put him on another level. Like, whoa, Alchemist is working with this guy. And it's Palisades, California. We'll talk about this next episode, but that's the top 5 song of the year for me.
That was one of the biggest releases of the year, I feel like. Like, not like on a mainstream level, but just in the hip-hop sphere. Like, that was a memorable release for a reason.
Which is so cool for a guy who kind of raps in one tone about positive, getting your finances up and drinking sea moss. So it's hilarious. I love it. But someone who he's been toying with releasing for I don't even know how long since he started selling that product. That was, I don't know what that thing was called. Where you play the samples. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't even know. No,
you know the MP3
actually.
for Donda 2? Well, anyway.
Stem player.
The stem player, yeah. Well, Kanye West has actually returned with new music. It's not a video playing from outside of an Italy hotel room. It is actual music being played. The album is called Vultures with Ty Dolla $ign, who they make beautiful music every time. This is a perfect link up for an album. Never missed. Features include the one and only Northwest, rival ring Adonis.
Let's go.
Coming for the child throne. That sounded kind of weird, but you get what I mean. We got someone I will talk more about, and it goes along with our conversation we were just having, but Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Kane.
Legendary.
He's here. Bunny Rabbit. That's Tyler, but Big Rabbit. Playboi Carti. Lil Durk. Future. Young Thug from jail. I don't know when he made this verse. Kodak Black.
No idea.
Bad Bunny is on another mainstream album. Let's hope this crossover works this time. Lil Baby.
Probably won't.
Charlie Wilson, as always, another similar to Ty Dolla $ign is never missed ever. Chris Brown, Bump J, who I'm not particularly familiar with, and after 2 years of being out and hearing like 5 versions of the song, Nicki Minaj, New Body.
New Body is finally releasing in 2023. That's weird.
So I know. I mean, it's such a great song that I'm surprised they didn't just release it as a single at some point, because I feel like
I mean, shit was supposed to be on Yandhi, brother.
Yeah.
It's fucking over 5 years ago.
We can make a list of like the top unreleased songs of all time. I feel like that one's pretty high up play-wise, because it just sounded like a hit from the minute.
So iconic. I mean, everyone knows like Nicki's verse, and a lot of that has to do with TikTok, but like if you have a leak that can kind of surpass into the mainstream without being out, you got to release it eventually. So at least they're doing it. So
and it is it's a great song, and you can just tell it will do well on TikTok because the concept of the song, it's kind of like that SZA SNL song with the looking for the big boys. Like it just sounds like something you can see a TikTok video being made of it.
Exactly.
But you actually stayed up for the 2:30 release party because Kanye West did not show up on time. As you told me, there was a lack of a dongle or an aux cord in the building.
Aux cord. So from what I understand, so watch the whole thing. Stream kept getting going up and down. Wi-Fi kept getting clapped. I had to watch Aiden Ross in speed, unfortunately, for a little bit of that. That was awful. But, they eventually figured it out. DJ Scheme was there. He said he was supposed to DJ for 30 minutes. They called him about 5 hours before the show to be like, hey, we need a DJ. DJ Scheme goes there. He DJs for a very long time, longer than he was supposed to, and he ran out of material and had to dig into his personal downloads, which is pretty much just X music. I mean, that's fine. Obviously, it's Florida. Makes sense, too, as well. But they fucking are so unorganized. They finally clear the stage. They had to reconstruct the stage. This wasn't really harped on. During the live stream, they were drilling the stage. They were, like, taking it apart. That could have been avoided if they just slapped DJ Scheme on the stage, maybe. Whatever. That happened. They clear off the stage. They start bringing people on the stage. Everyone's on stage, and at that moment, they're like, how are we going to play music? Because I guess they didn't think about, how to make music or play music beforehand.
It's crazy.
They had to send someone to get an aux cord. They tried doing airdrop. Airdrop didn't work. Whatever.
I saw that.
They got the aux cord. Music finally started playing. 2:30 a.m. Curfew's at 3 a.m. in Miami. So they had a very short amount of time to play music. Most of the features that you had listed were on stage with them, with the exclusions of some, one of which being Playboi Carti. He was on the plane to Miami, and Kanye was like, Carti's on the way. And almost immediately, they turned the speakers off and they kicked them out.
Yeah.
I was angry. I was so angry. But apart from that, listening party was great. I enjoyed almost every song, and I will say, thankfully, apart from a few kind of funny bars that didn't seem like he was really trying to say something serious, Kanye stayed away from the bullshit in his lyrics, which I enjoyed. That was my main hope. Yeah, he seemed to be on his normal kind of stuff. He wasn't really trying to make a message so far, from what I've heard.
I'll say it's pretty impressive for Playboi Carti to arrive late to an event that was running late. Good for him. I think only Lauryn Hill could possibly rival him with that. As a person raised Jewish, still Jewish, happy that there's only one line on the album where Kanye references having intercourse with a Jewish bitch.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
And
we'll take
at least
that.
I'm not one to defend Kanye ever. I don't think I've ever defended him, but I'm also not one to think he's actually the worst person ever.
Yeah.
Something is wrong with him.
Yeah,
Something is very wrong with him. We all know it.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm glad what we heard is what we heard.
Yeah.
So far.
And I'll say that you talked about some disappointing songs. I'll say the only thing disappointing, because Kanye is known for this guy that is always ahead of the curve. His music is what's coming next. And I think recently, kind of since The Life of Pablo, he's been more doing really good albums of music that's already popular, it seems.
I agree. Yeah.
It's not
100%.
as much cutting edge stuff. And my least favorite trend right now is lazy sampling of songs from the 2000s.
I know where this is going.
Kanye is one of the GOAT samplers of all time. But dude, you're doing this Backstreet Boys Everybody sample.
Yeah.
I thought he was above that. And sure, maybe it sounds cool with, I don't know if it's Ty or Charlie Wilson doing that. I think it might be Charlie Wilson.
I
But
don't even know, dude.
that felt pretty lazy and not Kanye-ish. But besides that, you can make a point on that because I'm like, come on, dude,
I just am curious because it sounded good. I agree with what you're saying. Kanye could have done that better with something that wasn't that. But there's something about it for the intro of the album that kind of sounded grandiose, and I kind of liked it. I will say.
If that was done 10 years ago, I think it'd be like, whoa, that's sick. But because
That's true. That's true, yeah.
Just because it's on the back of this trend, I mean, every artist now is just lazily sampling. And I'll give credit to Jack Harlow because he found that obscure ass sample that's catchy as ever.
Fuck that song, bro.
It's so catchy. Also, you talked about DJ Scheme. Want to shout him out because he is the producer of Surround Sound, which has entered back in the top 200 or 100 songs. And
magically, which is crazy.
As a JID,
TikTok is awesome.
As a JID stan, this feels like it's so cool to see an artist who you support so much get the acclaim. I have friends. My friends are like, oh, who's that JID guy that you always play? And now it's like, oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I met this guy.
So dope.
It's so sick for him. And I talked about this with Sam, but it was such perfect timing because as a fan, if a song by an artist you love gets really popular right away, you kind of hate it. You're kind of like, oh, that was their poppy song. But this song, I played it so much the past 2 years that
now
it's getting the second life.
Yeah. It's awesome to see. And hey, those videos though they be coming with some quality content there. So yeah, shout out JID, shout out DJ Scheme. That's just awesome.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that, and it seems like they are because JID tweeted something about his album coming out in 2024, whether that be Jidtro or Forever and a Day or something. But I mean, his team's so smart, so I know they'll do this. But you got to piggyback on this momentum. Let it die down.
Sure.
Let it get run to the ground a little bit, but then you got new fans now, so give them something to feast on.
Yeah,
and I think they will.
exactly.
But I also want to touch
They're-
on,
His manager's so good. He'll figure it
yeah,
out.
shout out to Barry Hefner.
Exactly.
But Freddie Gibbs, this was someone I was not expecting.
Yes.
I didn't even know, because Freddie has a line a couple years ago. Let me see if I can quickly find it. But basically, it's around the idea that he played music for Kanye a couple years ago. Oh, here it is. Why won't this load? I played my shit one day for Kanye, hoping he's blanking with something, and his response was something quite like mediocre, my brother. That had me heated, though, but at the time didn't realize that's what I needed. So I know Kanye took No More Parties from LA from him. It used to be No More Cocaine Parties, which great song.
A lot of people don't know that, which is crazy.
It's a really good song. It low-key could be better than the original. Also, Kanye out-rapped Kendrick. But
oh, I don't know about that. I know that's a very common take, but I'm always siding with Kendrick on that.
But I was so happy to see this when I woke up, because another example of feeling like one of my artists who Freddie's very big, but it was very cool. Same way I felt when I saw Griselda on Donda. This felt like a win for the underground. And Freddie,
and it's like, Freddie, that was a good verse. And I'm not gonna lie, Freddie has been popular. I know we're gonna get into Freddie, but Freddie has been he's been rapping for a very long time. He's been popular for like a fraction of that time. Like realistically, that man has endless projects. That man has been through pretty much any type of instrumental, any type of style, growing into what we know him as now. And SSS, his newest album, was probably his most diverse project. I wasn't a huge fan, but I loved this verse on Kanye's. I mean, it was long, and he was saying, it was great. I mean, this impressed the fuck out of me a lot.
I'll say, me and Sam were texting about this, but SSS, I personally think deserved more respect. Off the top of my head, songs like Too Much with Moneybagg Yo, who I might even, someone I listen to, I love that in the gym. Dark Hearted, which is produced by James Blake,
Ooh,
fire.
That's a good song. Yeah.
Blackest in the Room is my favorite off the album. You got the Pusha T one, I forget what that's called off the top. Rick Ross one, fire. So yeah, Freddie, and I like that he sings, but it's like bad singing, but like he can mess around with different styles. And this verse in the Kanye album, I mean, there's just classic Freddie lines. He's talking about, what do you say about his bird bitch and the X, like I'm Elon, which is just like a very classic.
He said some that's very, very Freddie Gibbs to say some pop culture ass stuff about some wildly famous white man. That's very Freddie Gibbs. Yeah,
you can just kind of tell that Freddie, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but you can tell the verse was made recently because he does throw in those pop culture lines. I remember on the One-Way Flight with Benny the Butcher, he says, hoes get fucked and sent home early, just like the Clippers. And that happened like that week that the Clippers got sent home in the playoffs in the bubble.
That shit's hilarious. Dude,
I love that stuff.
Speaking of Freddie, dude, I mean, we don't have to get into this that much, but dude, did you see Benny the Butcher
weird.
Up with Freddie's old girl?
So weird.
Yeah, okay. That's all I got for that. But that shit happened, and I peeped it.
I don't know who it's weirder for, because like she got beat up by them too, so I don't.
Yeah, bro, I don't fucking know. Whatever.
I mean, it's always a constant conversation, especially also in the NBA, where it's like, that's who you chose? Like, why is this the person that y'all are? But hey, I mean, they got interesting lives. At the end of the day, these people they're not living my life. They are different stratosphere of thinking.
Close. Not even close, yeah.
But yes, this Kanye album, who knows when it will actually come out? Did they give a date that they said it's going to come out?
Okay, so Friday. Friday is the date. They said Friday? But it's like, you know how Kanye be with his listening parties. If the listening party isn't up to his standards, and given last night, there's no way this shit was up to his standards. We can be expecting another listening party with Playboi Carti actually coming out, because I know Kanye wanted that to happen a lot. They took some pictures after, because Carti, he was on the way. So after they took some pictures, it got me excited. I don't know if you saw, but you know who Bob Lamb is, right?
I do not.
Maybe. Okay. He does what I do. He's like actually big inspiration to me. He does like music news for the underground. Probably the biggest one who's been doing that. He's been doing it for many years. He's actually super cool. We talk sometimes. Anyways, Playboi Carti DM'd him last night, which is fucking crazy to me. He DM'd him and he sent him like videos of him and Kanye like chilling after the thing.
Is that like?
I was like, wow, bro.
That's probably like when Cole jumped on that type beat for that YouTube producer. And
yes.
the YouTube community is like, whoa, like J. Cole.
Yeah,
got
that
on
shit.
it.
When I saw that shit this morning, I was like, "Damn, bro, Cardi sees everything, bro." Because
It's
that
sick.
guy, I mean, he has like 100K subscribers, so he's big.
Yeah.
But like his videos kind of perform like mine do. Is all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say. So
Nah, it's
I'm
cool
gonna be waiting for that Cardi DM. I'm gonna be waiting for it.
It's a cool moment because you realize that these bigger people, they see everything. Like they see the small
Oh,
stuff. And
yeah, man. Yeah,
I mean, they might see
for
your
sure.
Drake might see your song on TikTok and sample it and pitch it up high as he
Yeah.
does. I will say, I feel bad for Boz because he's waited 5 years to drop this album, and I believe it comes out Friday. And I would just hate for it to be overshadowed by a
Ooh.
random Kanye album because Boz's last album, Milky Way, is so good. And I don't even want to say it's
Like perfect.
underrated because it has very
People
popular
love it.
songs. Boca Raton,
Yeah.
huge, pretty huge song.
Yeah,
Tribe
that
is
song with Cole is crazy. Yeah.
Tribe's top 5 favorite song of all time for me.
Wow. Okay.
Like, really love that song.
Boz is
And
good, and the EPs have been good recently too. So,
yeah, and they've been marketing well. I mean, as the Dreamville folk do. So I just hope
of
that it gets the
course.
proper look because I'm pretty surprised from a business perspective because December is known as a bad month to release music because people are on vacation, playlisting wise,
Yep.
they're not working. So I'm
Yep.
just a little confused why after 5 years would you pick like what's known as the worst month? I'm sure they have their reasons.
I'll say
Dreamville,
Boz is an artist, and this is the case for a lot of Dreamville artists, and I guess we just saw that happen with JID and Surround Sound. Their albums really do stick. It's less of a moment when they release, and it's more
Facts.
of they more stand.
yeah,
People are listening to them for years.
yeah, it's a very strong
It's
fan
it's
base.
less about the moment of release, which I believe is very intentional for everyone on Dreamville, apart from Cole, just because he's Cole.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting to me.
We talked about that in terms of Joey Badass talking about first week sales and how they don't matter. And my
Oh
point
yeah, they
was
don't.
that the Dreamville fan base is probably around 18 to 35, like the majority of it. And those are the type of people who aren't listening to music the day it comes out on Friday. They're people who, when they get to the album, they're going to listen to it in full. And it might be a week after its release. So like Joey Badass, he's a mature audience. It's not like, say, Yeet drops, all the high school kids are bumping
Oh,
it that day.
Right, immediately tell you
Yeah.
live tweeting it. Yeah, it's very different. So I when I saw that with Joey, I completely agreed because it's like to an extent, first week sales they matter business standpoint. They're always going to matter regardless, just from labels and just how the
And it's a
industry
fun
looks
combo.
at it. It is, but it's like exactly what you're saying. Different fan bases are going to bring in different types of people with different styles of listening, and it's like especially if you want to play that first week sales game and maximize that shit with whatever merch type of whatever the fuck, promo codes, pre-release, pre-saves, whatever, you can do that and you can get all the first week sales you want. It's really almost it's not a decision, like you never know what you're going to sell, but it's almost a decision at this point if you want to care about it or not and how it will affect the album, so
I mean-
it's really circumstantial. I don't give a fuck, no one should, like it is what it is.
Nah, it's just fun for like Rap TV to tweet it. Like,
Pretty much, yeah.
we gonna compare Daytona, which is 6 songs, to the same album that dropped like Astroworld the same year, which is 20 songs. And it's like obviously those first week sales
Yeah.
would be totally different proportions. It's different amount of
And
songs.
yeah, that's another
and-
thing, bro. People who are dropping 30 plus song albums for that reason to stream better first
Yeah.
week, it's like you are really sacrificing the art, I feel.
Sacrificing the art, and I think that
And
transition.
I think that's a label's fault. I think that's a label's fault, personally.
Yeah.
So I'm not going at any artist right now, It
Actually,
is what it is.
I'm just thinking about this because I saw Mick Jenkins tweet about this on Twitter about how artists aren't. Basically, they're not going in the right. I said this. They're not going in the right platforms because he was saying that it's sometimes a label issue that there's not people in the media talking about like, real raps and talking about the music. And Tyler said this. At first, he came at Sean Evans, but then he retracted that because Sean is the
Yeah,
guy.
he took it back.
But
of course, you can't.
I think I have this take that it's the same way that some NBA players love basketball, like Kobe Bryant, Jason Tatum. Like I know they love the craft. KD love the craft of basketball, and some like the style of being NBA player. And it's the same thing for music.
Yeah.
You can tell
Yep.
Logic loves the craft of rapping. And there's a lot of rappers who will love to nerd out about it, and some just like the idea of being a rapper. So I think it's sometimes in the rapper's hand to go on the right platforms to talk about their music. And I'm not saying that in a way to spotlight our platform because we do love nerding out
Yeah.
about the bars. But yeah, dude, I mean, it's cool to see you go in Complex and shop for shoes, but I'd rather see you talk
Yeah.
about this album you just made.
I liked when Tyler said that on that Nardwar interview because I agree with him, but I also liked what he said afterwards, making sure he wasn't like offending Sean Evans because I see both sides of it. It's like you said, we care about the music. We want to talk about the music. But in order to appeal to like the current ADHD ass audience, bro, you gotta have a factor in there that's a little quirky. I feel like Nardwar does that just by being the person he is, and he clearly gives as much fucks about the music as one possibly could, So there's a balance for sure.
There's a famous Nicki Minaj clip when she's on The Breakfast Club, and she asked them, she's like, "What's your favorite song on the album?" And they say the single, and she's like, "That's the single. Name me a different song." And she's like, "You knew I was coming down to this station, and you couldn't just listen to the album?"
Yeah, that's fucked.
Like, what are we doing? Because there are people who would die to interview Nicki Minaj. There are Barbies out there that would have
shit that
questions.
bothers me. That shit bothers me, bro.
Sometimes these people just don't understand how many people would die to be in their shoes to interview that artist. Just give it your all.
Yeah, and to them, they're just clocking in. Oh, they're just clocking in. Oh, Nicki Minaj is going to be here. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Show some respect, man.
But I need you to break this down to me because someone who teases music probably more than any artist in the history of music and doesn't release it is the man who arrives late to every event as well. Playboi Carti. Tell me what you know about this new album. What should we be expecting? I know he dropped an actual song. He dropped a video.
So
that's cool.
So this is okay. So I've made like 4 YouTube videos on this rollout, but making it concise here. Playboi Carti, he has his tour. All right, his tour originally was supposed to start in October, I believe. That did not happen. All right, got delayed once. The US, it was US tour, European tour. US tour got moved to after European tour, and then Carti, that was supposed to start in November, the European tour that is, after it got delayed. Got delayed again. European tour, now pushed behind US tour originally, whatever. Fucking 4 months, 5 months, whatever the fuck, delayed. But tour starts January 14th. We have been given concrete news from DJ Academics, from Playboi Carti's mouth himself, January 2024. Tour starts January 14th. That leaves January 5th, January 12th. Those are the 2 Fridays. Playboi Carti will be dropping his album on either of those 2 days. Please. I hope so, because you know how he be. But there has never been a moment where Playboi Carti is more in album mode than this moment. Now. Every self-titled, Die Lit, Whole Lotta Red, he did not post a fraction of a percentage as much he has for this album.
He's active
I mean
right
that
now.
shit. The last 2 days, his Instagram story was just like tap, 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 tap. That is unheard of from Playboi Carti. He posts a snippet, a very good snippet, with DJ Swamp Izzo, and that song was made literally the day before he posted the snippet. The album is not done. I know people that are currently sending beats and packs to Playboi Carti's camp. The album is not finished, guys. It is not finished.
I don't like hearing
that. I didn't like hearing that too, but that's very... Carti likes the pressure. He announces, this is what he does. He announces, he does his thing, he has the pressure on him, and if he can't pull through with the pressure, he doesn't drop. This has happened twice before since Whole Lotta Red. Talking about the Narcissist 2021 situation and the current album, the music last year. He couldn't pull through for one reason or another.
Yeah.
This time, he's delayed tour twice. Why would he be delaying tour if he didn't really want to do it? The pressure is on. He's working on the album. He's literally recording in a cave studio in Paris. It's coming. All right, it's coming, and he has released an official single, which only dropped from what I know. I think I can say this, but Carti thought it was going to get leaked because someone had their hands on it. I know that person who had their hands on it. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know, bro, but they had it. I know for a fact they had it early. Can't talk about it, but it got released. So I'm happy.
I watched a YouTube video on this because I was always confused what it actually meant when someone gets leaked songs. And I realized it meant that sometimes in the studio, like someone working at the studio goes back in.
Yep.
So artist, what do you just put in the hard drive? I know Mac Miller famously, where Larry Fisherman came from, was at the studios. He would label the song by Larry Fisherman, so people wouldn't be
So
like,
no one stole it.
to
Yep,
Mac Miller's
yep.
song. So like, what is that? To give an example of someone putting themselves under stress and not working, famously, Chance the Rapper announced the date of the big day before he started working on the album, which his manager, Pat the manager,
I remember that.
famously was
they
like,
got into it.
he was like, why would you do that and put yourself in a corner? And that ruined their entire relationship. And Chance blamed the big day on him when he was just trying to help him. So sometimes
That shit was weird.
I don't know how that works. But I guess, I mean, Chance and Playboi Carti are two different types of music. I think Chance might take more time to flesh out.
Yeah. Dude, Whole Lotta Red was famously created 5 days before the album came out. Majority of it. Majority of like the loud, abrasive Whole Lotta Red-esque songs, those were all made 5 days before. We're seeing something similar here. But apart from that, whatever it's dropping, it's not whatever. Carti is on Kanye's album.
Sick.
That's like the little rollout feature. And this new song, what are your thoughts on it? I'm very curious.
So I told you after our last episode when you gave me a little bit of schooling on him, I don't like squeaky or mad voice Carti. I like normal voice Carti over a kind of melodic beat. I'm not good with song names. What are the songs I sent you on Whole Lotta Red?
I think you liked I Love You, I Hate You.
Yeah.
Like just that's all I remember, but yeah, I think you like that.
Just
one.
that type of Carti, that's what's more for me. I did listen to it in the gym, the whole album. Like, it's cool in the gym. It's definitely a time and place type thing for me. The new song, I'm gonna say it's fine. It didn't get me super excited for the album.
Okay. You know what's interesting? When that song dropped, I saw lots. People are coming around now. I saw lots of Carti fans did not like it. And I made a tweet about this. You probably saw it. But I have never been approached by more Logic fans in my entire life, just of course, obviously, doing what I'm doing, who are like, I love this song. This is Playboi Carti's best song. I've never liked a Playboi Carti song, but I love this song.
Why do you think that is?
And I do not know, bro. Because, I mean, it's really not, it's different from, you know, the popular songs in Whole Lotta Red. But looking at Carti's past, it's actually kind of a traditional Carti song. I mean, he's not using that, like, deep voice that we've heard on the song with Kanye and the other snippet he posted with Swamp Izzo I was talking about. It sounds pretty traditional, but if people are fucking with it, that's all I care about. That is, I mean...
Carti is one of those guys for me that it's all beat dependent. So the beat to me wasn't that special. So at the end of the day, it's not going to do it for me. I'm not like, whoa, that Carti ad-lib was sick.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean...
Because everyone listens to Carti for different reasons. There's some people who probably love his voice and they're like, that's so cool when he does that. That's you. That's not me specifically, but I will definitely... I want to like the album. I want to like this.
Yeah, of course. Have you heard, I must ask, have you heard the other snippet that I've been talking about?
Like, probably.
Dude, you probably have it. It's the one where he's like, disrespect to 5, I'll put your ass in the food chain. Swamp Izzo! I don't know, dude. That shit is hard, dude. That is like, he dropped 2 completely different sounding, like, previews of songs in the same day. He knows what he's doing. This is going to be a diverse Carti album. Yeah. 100%. Whole Lotta Red even is diverse. I mean, this one's going to be a very diverse album.
Yeah. I think you tweeted about this, but it's so funny seeing people react to the first 10-second snippet when it was just the beat. I saw some people, big hip hop accounts, they're like, this is the worst thing ever. And then I know you tweeted, you're I love this. It is so funny to see people react. And that's what like kind of ruins music, but it's also pretty comical when they do it. And I talked about this for the Boz album. They keep posting snippets and they sound amazing, but I'm trying my best not to listen to them because I want to experience the music all at once. Like, leaks are cool, but I want to hear what the artist...
I feel that way.
Final thing was.
I do that. I do exactly what you said for pretty much every artist apart from Carti, bro. If it's Carti, bro, I gotta hear whatever the fuck I can get my hands on.
Yeah.
Even for, like, Logic and shit, like, I'll listen to a snippet or, like, a leak, like, a few times, but, like, I'm not returning to that.
Yeah.
Like, Uzi famously has plenty of leaks. I'm a huge Uzi fan. I just don't... It really does make the releases so much better when you just don't listen to it. But the good thing about Carti is if it leaks, he is not dropping that shit.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks for him, but for us, we just get more music. So
Yeah, I'm down with it. I know Kendrick, was it last year or 2 years ago? There was 3 songs that leaked for Kendrick. I guess it was probably last year. And they're pretty fire. 'Cause that's like someone so... If there's a J. Cole leak, I'm like, what the hell? Because...
Yeah, J. Cole never leaks, bro. That's crazy.
I think they have Tree Sound Studios in Atlanta. I think they just run the whole operation. Like, who are these interns running around with flash drives that they're not...
Dude, you know what's crazy about that shit too is like, I'm not super into the whole leaking community. I know people in those communities just from who I am. You know, they tell me things. You most of the time cannot speak about publicly whatever. They just like to fill me in whatever. I have good relationships with them, despite the dirty work they do that I don't really agree with. Yeah. But there are so many different fucked up ways that people get their hands on music. Like you said, engineers, that was a huge one. A lot of the times, more often than not, what it isn't usually engineers. It's usually like their fucking friends, bro. Like their friends. If no one, artists, if you're listening, if you're a big artist, I guess if you're a small artist, whatever, send your song to your friends, get their opinions. But if you're a somewhat large, whatever artist, and the person you are sending this song to is not putting in work on the song, is not doing paperwork, is not doing anything official with the song, do not send it to them. I do not care. If they're your friends, show it to them in person. Like, do not send shit over. Because that Carti shit, that Carti video we were talking about, the person who had that video told me that was like one of the first things Playboi Carti's team has like sent out via the internet in years, and that's how he got his hands on it, one way or another. I didn't ask, I didn't really care, but that's how these things happen, bro. Right. I mean,
it's so dumb, and even on the smallest level, when I dropped my recent song in September, I sent the music video to one of my closest friends, and I said, please don't show anyone, because I want my other friends to be surprised. And my other friend texted me, he's like, yo, just saw the video. And I'm like, dude, why do you show him? It's not an actually big deal. But it's like, I wanted people to be surprised about the music, and I was just showing you because I thought you wouldn't send it to anyone.
No, like, you can't trust, dude. You gotta hard drives and just personal computers. That's all the hard drives and personal computers. You just gotta, unfortunately, people are too. That's the thing, bro. Imagine being that famous to where you don't even have fucking privacy, like. To the files that are on your device, like that shit is...
cannot comprehend that level of fame. I think that's why it's crazy for them. I cannot understand being that way. Everyone looking at you when you walk into a room. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. Fucking Carti goes to Walgreens. I see 10 pictures of it on my timeline immediately. Yeah. Like
Frank Ocean's like in a hoodie in New York City just trying to vibe out.
Yeah, dude. Like, fuck, let this guy get a coffee, bro.
Or J. Cole's biking. But to get into a quick last conversation from a business standpoint, I wanted to talk about Spotify quickly because they had huge layoffs. Their CEO, Daniel Ek, announced that they're laying off 17% of their workforce, around 1,500 people. This comes after they already cut a lot of people earlier in the year. But on the other hand, Spotify's prices are going up. So I see artists talk all the time about this because Spotify, quote unquote, is messed up that they're not paying their artists. But Spotify is also not a profitable company. They have not been profitable. So I think something big in streaming is going to change because something has to change to make it profitable for everyone, to pay the artists. I don't know what that is currently. I mean, I think TikTok's going to do some crazy stuff because they keep implementing new additions where you can now post your tour on a video. So if someone likes the song, they can see your tour dates, or they can add the song straight to their library, which is huge because it's addicting and no one wants to leave the app. But if I can add your song from the app, perfect.
That's a game changer. I mean, that's a complete game changer. And like, I don't think that the music industry's executives understand. To an extent, we understand, but like, think about social media, all the platforms, whatever, YouTube even counts in that, whatever, Facebook, every platform, and think about the traffic that those social media platforms drive to music. Then think about TikTok on its own. In the traffic that TikTok drives to music. I mean...
They got their own charts now.
TikTok has changed fucking everything. This is going to change everything. And I didn't even know this happened about Spotify, but you just said I know they were laying off people. I knew they weren't profitable. I knew that they famously underpay artists. But something is happening. Obviously, they laid off hella people. They got less, wages to pay. I am sensing some sort of and I think this is what you were alluding to, but I'm sensing some sort of partnership with Spotify and TikTok. I'm sensing it. They already have the Canvas thing going on with their, single. There might be something like official going on.
I think it's going to take one of these big artists to go completely independent. And people thought Drake was going to do it. And
he didn't, though.
He's a pussy.
He should have.
He could have changed the music industry. Because
I think
he can do it on his own.
He's trying to run UMG. He's trying to run Universal.
Also,
I think.
Someone offers you $500 million. I cannot tell you how to respond to that. I do not know. It's the same thing with the whole Zion Williamson situation right now. I'm like, on one hand, he should be not eating. I don't know what I would do if I'm 23 and I was handed that much money. But it would be really
crazy.
It's crazy.
I heard my dad was telling me about that the other day.
He won't stop eating. But if one of these major artists goes completely independent, I think that will be a huge shift in the industry. I don't know what the solution is to getting artists paid more money. It's messed up about the whole 1,000 streams to get paid thing, but they're not
making that much. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. You're not making money. Yeah. You're just not.
I think I made $4 off of music, but there's
it's okay.
It's just I get why they're angry, but at the same time, they're not getting paid either. They just had to fire employees, which both sides are probably mad about the other side. It's just unfortunate. I know, and the platforms that do pay better, such as Tidal, they're more expensive, so you don't want to sign up for them. And the same issue is going on with streaming for TV and movies, where at first it was the cheaper option, but now you have to have a membership to Netflix, Hulu, Peacock, Max.
I pirate everything. Everything gets pirated.
Shout out to these Twitter.
Pay for shit.
Shout out to these Twitter accounts that are posting full Oppenheimer movie on Twitter.
Yes.
I
pirate everything.
I almost watched the new Hunger Games movies on Twitter last night, but I decided against it because I'm like, I'll go to the theaters.
That was a good movie. Yeah,
but this is not what the director intended. But Bryce, thank you so much for joining us for this episode.
Of course.
Plug yourself right now.
Fitz Bryce on Twitter, YouTube channel. It's at Fitz Records. It's soon gonna not be Fitz Records. I'm actually rebranding to just Bryce idea. Fitz.
Love it.
But oh dude, you just wait. We got it's gonna be dope. I got lots of art and stuff coming. But check me out, whatever. I talk about music. I talk about all subgenres of music. I'm a Logic meat writer. I'm a Carti meat writer. And everything in between I love. So if you fuck with music, you probably fuck with me a little bit.
If you like meat writing, go to Bryce.
Yes, sir. That's what I do best.
Yes. Make sure to like and subscribe if you made it this far. That's awesome that you made it this far into a 40-minute episode. Thank you.
Sir.
And thank you, Bryce. We will see you next time.
Of course. Peace. Thank you, man.